Hello students, in this lecture we will see how we can use C to program that Mega microcontroller. As you can expect that writing code in C is much easier than writing in assembly. A code that may take more than 10 lines for in assembly may be accomplished just with 2 to 3 lines in C language. For programming in C, you must be mindful of the data type that you use because it's the job of the compiler to allocate the resources for the data type that you have selected, and you know the resources for available in the microcontroller. It has 32 8-bit registers, and which are general purpose register closest to the processor, and then we have SRAM, which which in which large size variable can reside. So let's look at this table, which describes its data type. An unsigned character has a size of 8-bit, and its value ranges, since its size is 8-bit, its value ranges from 0 to 255. So for any operation that we need to perform, such as reading from a port and writing to a data port, the IO port, an unsigned character is enough, because the registers that we have are also 8-bit and the ports that we use are also 8-bit wide. And plus, if we do not write the word unsigned with it, default character means it is a signed variable, and a signed variable has its range divided by 2, because one MSB is to show the sign whether it is positive or negative. So all the data types are available further, such as unsigned int available, but as it is said earlier, that when programming for a desktop computer or any laptop computer, we have abundance of memory, so we do not normally care whether the variable we are using, it is large, more than required for our usage. But when programming for an embedded system, for a microcontroller, you should be aware of the size that is required, and you should choose the appropriate data type. Although if you look at the table, a lot of varieties available. You can also declare a long variable, which is 32-bit variable, and it has a range to 2 raised to the power 32 divided by 2, because it is assigned. Also, the ATmega controller doesn't have a floating point coprocessor or floating point unit, but the C compiler, with the help of software, we can also use the floating point variable. Let's see some examples so that we see how easy it is to program using C. The code is to send values 00 to FF, 255 values to port B. First we need to, here since all the values are positive, so we declare the variable which we have to output to port as an unsigned character Z. DDR-B is 0xF. We have selected port B, configured it for output. Then the next for statement is a loop, and we run the loop 250 times, and simply port B is Z will accomplish what is required, which is sending the values one by one to port B. If we were to write this same statement using assembly, first we need to load some register with this value, and Afterwards, the value loaded into the register could be output to port B. Write an AVR program to send hex values for ASCII characters to port B. All the values are positive values. ASCII character. So we declared an unsigned character array mylist and we initialized it with the value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, A, B, C, D. And another unsigned character because the total values are 10. So the second variable we have selected, and this too is unsigned because it is used for a counter which is positive. Port B is configured for output. Loop runs z is equal to 0, z less than 10, and simply port B is equal to my list of z will get will output the values one by one to port B. The values of this string will be sent to the output port one by one. Next simple program is write an AVRC program to toggle all bits of port B 200 times. Port B configured as output, we initialized port B with 0xAA, which is 1010. You could have initialized with all zeros, you could have initialized with all one. With this pattern, you will see alternatively 0, 1. When odd numbers will be 1, the even numbers will be 0. So you will see an interesting pattern. Otherwise, you could have achieved it with initializing it just by zeros. The variable which is for loop is initialized carefully as an unsigned character, and toggling is simply port B is not sign here, logical operator not of port B. Again, if you were to perform this task using assembly language, first you need to read the value of port B into some register, then you had to invert that register, values in that register, and then in the third instruction you could write the inverted values to port B. Whereas in C, all this is done by writing this single statement. Example 7.4. Write an AVRC program to send values of -4 to +4 to port B. Since the values are negative values and they are within the range of character, we declared them as character, and -4, -32, we initialize the values. Port B configured for output, and then in the loop, the variable unsigned character Z, which is counter for the loop, and simply port B's mynum array with its index as Z. The signed values will be represented on the port by the 2's complement. We know that -1 is FF, so -2 is FE. This is -1, -2, -3, -3 is FD, and -4 is FC. That is why the values will start from FC and afterwards they will increment. The example is write an AVRC program to get a byte of data from port B and then send it to port C. We quite easily configured port B for input and port C for output. And in the code is simple. Simply get a byte of data from port B and then send it to port C. So we are getting from port pin B to temp, and then we are equating temp to port C. So this task can easily be, since in the next example we are also checking the if condition on the variable. That is why in this example the temp variable is used. Otherwise, you can simply write it in just one statement. Port C is equal to pin B. Since C is a high level language, you do not need to do all these unnecessary things. You just need to equate port B is equal to port C is equal to pin B, and the job is done. The next example, we have to get a byte of data from port C. If it is less than 100, send it to port B, otherwise send it to port D. So those two ports which are for the output, their data direction register is initialized with 0xFF. Both are configured for output. Port C is input, it is data register is direction register is 0. So port C is configured for input. And the unsigned character is for taking input. So in the infinite while loop, while one, we take a value from pin C in temp, then we check if temp is less than 100, port B is temp, else port D is temp. So in this simple code, we simply checked the value of port C, and as told in the statement, if it is less than 100, send it to port B, else send it to port D. The code can again simply be done without the temp variable. We could have written here if pin C is less than 100, port B is pin C. And else port D is pin C. So this is the same thing. Only difference in this version and the version written in the example is that in the example, we are getting the value from pin C just once on each iteration and deciding on the value which is read. If you do it this way, you first read the value. If pin C is less than 100, in this single statement, value of pin C is read into a register and compared. And when you again assign port B is equal to pin C, you get value of pin C one more time. So in this example, you on each iteration you read the pin C the pin C once, and here you read it twice on each iteration. Once for checking its status, comparing its value to 100, and then again when you transfer it to port B. So now we come to the port bit addressability. Although we studied in the assembly language that the AVR has special instructions that allow us to modify and read and modify selected bits. But unfortunately, there are AVR compilers, and also if you use this AVR Studio, which is the standard software available from the official website, in that software too, the compiler doesn't support such instructions, such as port B.1 is equal to 0. You cannot access a single bit of a port. So how to then modify selected bits or read selected bits? We still need the control to read and modify selected bits. We accomplish it by use of logical operations. So let's we see how to modify a selected pin. Consider we want to set pins 4 and 6 of port B. First we will study how to modify, then we will see how to read and make decision on them. So how do we modify selected bits? Consider that we want to set pins 4 and 6 of port B. So if you look at this operation, I can port B is equal to port B or operation with 0, 1, 2, 3. This is bit number 4 and this is bit number 6. So what will happen here? If you perform odd operation, if you perform OR operation of whatever the value is on port B with this immediate value, what will happen? As a result of OR operation, bits where you are performing OR with 0, they will remain unchanged. If they were initially 0, they will remain 0. If they were 1, they will remain 1. And bits at which position you have written 1 here, if those bits were initially 0, those will become 1, and if they were already 1, they will still remain 1. So as a result of OR operation with anywhere where you perform OR operation with 0, they will remain unchanged, and wherever you perform OR operation with 1, they will become 1 unconditionally. So we can convert it to a more user easily readable code by replacing this constant value with this new form here. 1 left shifted 4 times. We gave a lot of time to this concept in the previous lecture, so but let's explain it again. 1 left shifted 4 times will give you 1 was initially here 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 left shifted 4 times 5, 6, 7. And 1 left shifted 6 times will give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1 left shifted 6 times. So at the end you will get the same value, but it is more neat way of and more easy to understand. And finally, you are familiar with this notation, as you may have written I is equal to I plus 1 can be replaced by I plus is equal to 1. That so the same way you can write port B OR is equal to. Now we see how to clear selected bits. For the case of clearing selected bits, the expression is almost similar, except that here we perform AND operation. For the AND operation, if we perform any bit, the AND operation of any bit with 1, it will remain unchanged. And if the AND operation is performed with 0, the bit is unconditionally set to 0. So let's say we again want to clear pins 4 and pin 6. The immediate value with which the AND operation is to be performed is such that all other bits are 1 except bit 4 and bit 6. These two are 0, all other are 1. And furthermore, you can see that that's the beauty of C language as compared to assembly. In a single expression, we are reading the port B and then modifying it and writing it back. So all three operations are performed in a single expression can perform all three. We can write the three operations in a single statement. So and this here we can write it as again in a more readable, and if you want to write it in a more readable and understandable way, consider again the expression 1 left shifted 4 times and 1 left shifted 6 times. You reached at 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0 in the last example. 1 left shifted 4 times and 1 left shifted 6 times. If we invert it, this is the NOT operator. If we invert this, we will get 1 0 1 0 0 0 0 1 0, sorry, 1 1 1 1. I write it again. 1 0 1 0 and 1 1 1 1. So we get a byte where all other bits are 1 except bit 4 and bit 6. Same as here. So, and finally, we in the final, which is the shortest expression, we can write port B and is equal to inverse of not of 1 left shifted 6 times and or with 1 shifted 4 times. So using this expression finally, which is more easy to understand and more clear, we can clear the selected bits of a port. Now next we read, here the title is not correct, here it should be read selected bits. So now we read selected bits. So suppose that we are in a situation where we have to read the status of just one bit of a pin. Let's say pin B. We need to check the status of bit number 4 here, whether it is 1 or 0, and we need to perform some operation. Normally, if I ask students for the first time, they come up with a code. Let's say if pin B is equal to 0 0 0 and 1 and all other zeros, to check whether port B, because again the limitation is we cannot read the selected bit in C. We have to read the complete bit, complete pin, and then we have to perform some logical operation to get the status of the only the selected pins. And students normally come up with this code 0001. Only bit 4 is 1 and all others are 0. The problem with this is that there may be other pins. There are certainly other pins on the port B, and they may be acting as input pins for totally independent devices, such as one may be for one switch, one may be for a push button which is performing another task, and some other pins for also for switches and they are performing separate tasks. So we may not be sure what is the status of what is their status. By equating pin B with this value here, we are checking, not just checking that pin 4 is 1, we are also checking that all other pins must be 0. And that is the problem. We cannot be sure that all other pins are 0 or 1. There may be other input pins that are also 1 at that time. So that example was to emphasize that we needed to check the status of just one pin independent of the statuses of other pin. Here we are not doing that. Here we are ensuring that pin 4 is 1 and other pin must be 0, which may not be the case. So how do we do that? Again, we perform logical operations. Here too, we will initially come up, we'll start with expressions which are not very precise, and then we'll finally go to those which are more understandable and shorter. So to read the status of just pin 4, a mask needs to be applied to remove the interference caused by the wind. So we write, suppose we are reading the all we assure that the value that we are reading from the port is a positive value. So we gave the data type unsigned character temp. Unsigned character temp is equal to pin B. We read the status of complete byte from the pin B. When we perform AND operation with a byte where all other bits are 0 except the bit that we are interested, which is bit number 4. All other bits are 0. Only the bit that we are interested in is 1. Performing AND operation with this byte is will as a result we'll get in temp the status of just bit 4. For all other bits in temp which are ANDed with, which we have performed AND operation with, 0 will be 0. And here the bit number 4 for which the AND operation is with 1, it doesn't mean that it will now be 1. It means that it will have its true value. Whether it is 0 or it is 1, we can only check in the instruction that follows in the if condition. But here, after performing the AND operation, the bits for which the AND operation is 0, we are 100% sure that they are now 0. Performing AND operation will 0 will make them 0. And the bit for which we have performed AND operation with 1, it will have its true value. If it was originally 0, it will remain 0. If it was 1, it will remain 1. So after this instruction, we are sure that the temp variable only contains the status of the bit number 4 which we are interested in. And if there are multiple bits, then we'll do the same way as in the previous example. We'll make this byte by, let's see the next step. We can write it simply as 1 left shifted 4 times. And if there are multiple pins that we are interested in, we'll have OR operation and 1 left shifted in here again the pin number or bit number. So temp and 1 left shifted 4 times, and finally it is temp and is equal to 1 left shifted 4 times. This is the final, the more precise and easier to understand and the shortest version. So now you can check if temp is equal to 00100. So here now you're 100% sure that these in temp all these bits are 0, so you do not need to worry about this. And add position of bit 4, you are here to check whether it is 1 or 0. Or you can further write it as temp is equal to 1 left shifted 4 times. And here also the shortest version and precise version is, you can, instead of using the temp variable, you can directly write pin and the expression which you first declared a variable and then performed the operation with the variable. You can directly write it as, in the if statement, if pin and 1 left shifted 4 times. So in a single expression, you are reading the status of pin B, you are applying the mask to filter out all the unnecessary bits, and here you are equating with 1 left shifted 4 times. And plus, if there is one single bit and you are not implementing some encoder, and to know the exact bit pattern, you only need to see whether it is 1 or 0. Then you can also make it further shorter by just writing that if pin B and 1 left shifted 4. So this way you do not need to equate with anything. If you are just concerned, you do not need to know the exact pattern. You're not implementing some encoder. So if the if will be true, if there will be non-zero value, this expression will be true. So now we have seen how to, using the logical operations, in spite of not having the facility in C to read the status of a selected bit,
we can read the complete byte and then check the selected bits by applying a mask. So let's see an example here. Write an AVRC program to monitor bit 5 of port C. If it is high, send 55 to port B, otherwise send AH. So here he has done a first we have declared the two output, configured the two output ports plus the input port in the infinite while loop, as I mentioned in the previous slide. If pin C and we have applied the mask, we were interested in the bit number 5 here. That is why all other bits are 0 except the bit 5. And the bit 5 is we have performed AND operation with 1. It means we will check the true value of bit 5. Whether if it was 1, it will remain 1 after AND operation. If it was 0, it will remain 0 after AND operation with 1. And further, I just mentioned in the previous slide, we can write also it, we can also write it as pin C. If pin C AND operation with 1 left shifted 5 times. If it is true, port B is equal to 0, else. So a very simple code.
Example 7.15. Example 7.15. A door sensor is connected to bit 1 of port B. LED is connected to bit 7 of port C. You have to write a program to monitor the door sensor, and when it opens, whenever the door opens, we are monitoring the door sensor, turn on the LED. First part of the code is configuring the ports. Here for the first time you can see that we are also modifying the selected bit of the data direction register, and that is the practice that you should also follow. We only needed to modify the only one bit of each register. For data direction register B, we needed to clear one bit. We performed AND operation with a byte which has all ones except at the position where we want to clear the bit. So all these will remain unchanged and bit at position 1 will be cleared for and thus it is for input. For DDRC, we have to make the bit 7 as output. That is why we performed OR operation with this byte. All bits are 0. They will remain unchanged. Bit number 0 to 6 of DDRC will remain unchanged because there is an OR operation with 0, and 7 will become unconditionally 1. In the while loop, here we were modifying, here we are checking the status of the selected bit. Applying the mask so that all reading the pin B status as a complete byte and applying the mask where all the other bits are cleared and only bit number 1 will remain unchanged by performing AND operation with 1. So the if statement will be true only and only if the bit 1 of pin B is 1. If bit 1 is 0, all other pins, if they are 1, since they are AND operation with 0, the result will still be 0. So with the help of this mask, we are just checking the status of bit 1, and as mentioned in the previous slide, that we do not need to equate with some value. Just writing this condition means if the result of this AND operation is any value greater than 1, then if condition is true. If the result of this AND operation is 0, it means the if condition is false. So the bit 1, if the pin 1 of port B is 1, in that case the condition is true and we will set the port bit pin 7 of port C, which has an LED. Here too we are just modifying only selected bit. We are not setting here. Let's say some students also make this mistake. They may write the expression port C is equal to 10000. We explained it that we can modify selected bit, but now let's also consider what would happen if you not don't use the expression to modify selected bit and you assign a value. When you assign a value, you are not just setting the bit 7 of port C, you are also clearing all other 6 bits of port C. Maybe there are other LEDs connected to it and they are affected by other parts of the program. So this is not a good practice unless you're pretty sure that pins are all our bits are not used. Then maybe you can use it, but better practice it to use the method we have learned in this lecture, that modify only the selected bit, or operation with zeros, all zeros except the desired bit, and to clear it is AND operation with all ones except 0 at the desired bit. We made the last program more readable and more neat and more easier to understand by naming the bit 7 by LED and naming the bit 1 by sensor. So here we, instead of writing the expression 00001, we use the term already explained, one left shifted sensor, which is 1 times, and one left shifted LED, which is 7 times. All other code is same except we named the constants that we used in the previous program. So the last code for this chapter is there. You will learn the serial port, which there are different protocols, USART and I2C. You will learn later that are used to transmit data serially, but you may face a situation that a device to which you want to communicate doesn't support those protocols. So the simplest method could be used to send data serially. We will see that in this code. Write an AVRC program to send out the value 44H. 44 hexadecimal means 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 0. We'll initialize one variable with this value. 1 bit at a time via port C pin 3. And the LSB, the least significant bit, the one at the rightmost position, will go out first. So we will right shift. If you were asked to that the MSB should go first, in that case we would have left shifted. So the code starts. We have given name to the pin number, serial pin. The value we needed to shift is initialized in a variable. It was positive character, so we use the data type unsigned character, and unsigned character reg ALSB defined, which is the shift register which we will use. And unsigned, we assigned the value to reg ALSB. Here we initialize the pin 3 as an output pin by performing OR operation, and we modified only the pin 3 of bit 3 of data direction register C. And in the loop we have to send 8 bits. That is why loop executes 8 times. And if reg ALSB and operation with 0x01, which means if the we are performing the AND operation with
0x01. 0x01 means a byte where all bits are 0 except the LSB. So it will check that whether LSB of the that byte that we need to send is 0 or 1. If this if statement will be true if the LSB here is 1. If LSB is 1, we will set the output pin as we'll set the output pin. Otherwise, if the LSB is 0, it means we need to transmit 0. In that case, we will clear the output pin by the method mentioned in earlier slides. And then we will right shift the our register. So if for our particular example, what will happen? Let's see. We initialize with 0100. In the first iteration, since LSB is 0, so the port C pin 3 will be we will assign it value 0, and this if condition will be false, and in the else condition we will clear the pin 3. At the end of iteration we will right shift it. After right shifting we will get 0 1 0 0 0 1 0. One times right shift. We'll again check this. In this case too, the LSB is still 0 if condition will not be true, and we'll again clear the pin C, pin 3 of port C. At the end of iteration, we will once more right shift it to get 0 1 0 0 1. Now you can see that the LSB is 1. In this case, if statement will be true, and we set the pin 3 of port C. So this way, one by one, we will transmit each one. Although there are more examples in this chapter, but we have learned the key idea how to program in C language. In the next coming chapters, we'll use these concepts that we have already learned to understand how to use timers, how to program, how to use interrupts and serial ports, and so on.